Today's video is focused on a fascinating biological process called autophagy. How many of you have come across this term before? The word itself has Greek roots. Auto means self, and phagy means to eat. So, in a literal sense, autophagy translates to self-eating. Imagine a person like Kevin who hasn't eaten for a while and is in a fasting state. What many people don't realize is that the human body actually has the ability to feed on itself in a controlled and intelligent way. This isn't harmful in the way it sounds. Instead, it's a survival and maintenance mechanism called autophagy. During this process, your body starts using damaged or unnecessary internal components as a source of energy while simultaneously cleaning itself up. It clears out what you could think of as cellular waste, broken parts, worn-out proteins, harmful particles, and other unwanted materials that build up over time. Autophagy plays a vital role in keeping your cells healthy. It helps remove all kinds of internal clutter, including leftover food particles, viruses, bacteria, inflammatory compounds, and even damaged cells that could potentially become problematic, including cancerous ones. In this way, it acts like a built-in purification system at the cellular level. Every single cell in your body has this hidden repair capability. When autophagy is activated, it essentially switches on the cell's self-repair mode, allowing it to break down damaged structures and rebuild healthier ones. Inside the cell, this process mainly takes place in structures called lysosomes. These lysosomes contain a wide range of enzymes, around 50 or so, that are capable of breaking down proteins, DNA, RNA, fats, and complex carbohydrates. When the cell identifies material that is no longer useful, it packages it and directs it toward the lysosomes. This forms a structure known as an autophagosome, where the breakdown and recycling process happens efficiently. In simple terms, autophagy is the body's way of removing, recycling, and regenerating cellular components, so everything runs more smoothly and efficiently. A major breakthrough in understanding this process came from Dr. Yoshinori Osumi, a Japanese cell biologist and professor at the Tokyo Institute of Technology. His research on how autophagy works at the cellular level was so significant that he was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine in 2016. This brings up an important question many people wonder about. Do we really need to be eating all the time? There's a lot of confusion around eating habits. Some believe skipping meals is harmful, while others recommend eating multiple small meals throughout the day. With so many mixed messages, it's no surprise people are unsure about how often they should eat. The reality is that many individuals today are not getting enough natural periods of autophagy. When this process is not functioning properly, waste begins to accumulate inside cells. Over time, this buildup can be compared to a messy, cluttered room filled with unused items everywhere. When the body stays in this cluttered state, it can contribute to symptoms like low energy, brain fog, digestive discomfort, skin issues, and fatigue. On a deeper level, it may also be linked to conditions such as fatty liver, insulin resistance, and chronic inflammation. Autophagy essentially acts like an internal cleaning crew for your cells. When it's working well, it clears out the mess and restores order. Just like how you feel calmer and more focused in a clean, organized room, your body also performs better when your cells are in a clean state. You tend to feel more energetic, mentally sharp, and physically balanced. Over time, it may even support weight management, healthier skin, reduced inflammation, and overall longevity. This process is especially important for vital organs like the liver. The liver is one of the body's main detoxification centers and also stores various toxins. Autophagy helps liver cells function more efficiently by improving their ability to process fat-soluble toxins and convert them into forms that can be eliminated through bile and urine. The heart is another crucial example. Heart muscle cells, known as cardiomyocytes, lose their ability to divide shortly after birth. This makes heart tissue particularly vulnerable because it cannot easily regenerate. That's why damage to the heart can be so serious. Autophagy plays an important role in supporting repair, maintenance, and remodeling of heart cells, helping them stay healthier for longer. In brain cells, autophagy also plays a powerful neuroprotective role. It helps maintain the health of neurons, which are the primary functional cells of the brain, by clearing out damaged components and supporting long-term brain function. Beyond the brain, autophagy is also important for gut health. It can support the healing of inflammation throughout the gastrointestinal tract. This includes conditions such as IBS, bloating, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, SIBO, and even leaky gut, which refers to increased intestinal permeability. By improving cellular cleanup and repair, autophagy may help restore balance in these digestive conditions. At a deeper cellular level, autophagy also helps maintain mitochondria, which are often referred to as the energy-producing engines of the cell. If you're not familiar with mitochondria, they are responsible for generating most of the energy your body uses every day. Autophagy helps remove damaged mitochondria and reduces harmful byproducts like reactive oxygen species and free radicals. This cleanup process makes the remaining mitochondria more efficient, allowing your cells to produce energy more effectively. Another major benefit is its impact on insulin activity and metabolic health. Insulin resistance is becoming increasingly common and is closely linked with the development of type 2 diabetes. In insulin resistance, the body produces higher levels of insulin, but the cells stop responding to it properly. This creates a harmful cycle that increases hunger, promotes fat storage, leads to weight gain, and fuels inflammation. The good news is that autophagy appears to improve insulin sensitivity and supports better metabolic function. Because of this, it may play a protective role against metabolic syndrome and related disorders. When autophagy is consistently weak or impaired, it is believed to contribute to many chronic health problems. These include heart disease, diabetes, fatty liver disease, certain cancers, neurodegenerative conditions like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, autoimmune disorders, mood imbalances, skin issues, chronic infections, and even faster aging overall. To understand autophagy better, it helps to look at its opposite process, which is controlled by something called mTOR. mTOR stands for Mechanistic Target of Rapamycin. It is a key enzyme that acts like a master switch for protein building and cell growth in the body. When you eat protein or do resistance training, mTOR becomes active and signals your body to build muscle and create new cells. In this sense, it is essential for growth and repair. Dr. Yoshinori Osumi once explained that life exists as a balance between building and breaking down proteins, meaning both processes are necessary for health. Having the right level of mTOR activity is important. If mTOR is too low, it can lead to muscle loss and a condition known as sarcopenia, which is why strength training becomes increasingly important as we age. On the other hand, if mTOR is constantly overactivated, it may contribute to accelerated aging and potentially increase the risk of certain diseases, including cancer. Autophagy and mTOR are essentially opposite processes. They cannot operate at the same time. One focuses on growth and building, while the other focuses on cleanup and repair. mTOR represents an anabolic state where the body is actively building tissues like muscle. Autophagy represents a catabolic state where the body is breaking down and recycling damaged components to restore cellular health. For optimal well-being, the key is balance between these two systems. The body needs periods of growth and periods of repair. For example, after strength training, it is beneficial to allow rest so that the body can recover, rebuild, and repair damaged muscle tissue properly. At this point, a natural question is how to activate autophagy effectively. One of the most powerful ways is through fasting. When the body is not receiving food, it shifts its focus away from digestion and growth and moves into internal cleanup mode, increasing autophagy activity. This is one reason many people report feeling mentally clearer and physically lighter during fasting periods. While nutrition is often emphasized, such as eating a variety of colorful foods for antioxidants, healthy fats, and fiber, there is also significant value in strategic periods of not eating. Research on animals like mice and primates has shown that calorie restriction can extend lifespan, and this effect is believed to be partly linked to increased autophagy. Sleep is another powerful natural trigger for autophagy. During sleep, the body enters a deep repair mode where cells recover, rebuild, and clear out damage from the day. This is closely connected to the body's circadian rhythm, which regulates many essential biological processes. Maintaining a healthy sleep schedule supports this nightly cellular renewal process. Now, when it comes to fasting, there are several different approaches, and depending on how long you fast, autophagy can be activated to different degrees and intensities. If you're just getting started with fasting, the easiest way to begin is with intermittent fasting. This approach is very popular because it doesn't require drastic changes. You're mainly just extending the time between meals. A good starting point is to keep a 12-hour gap between dinner and breakfast. Once your body adapts, you can slowly increase that window to 14 hours, then 16 hours, and eventually around 18 hours. At that stage, you might have dinner at 6 p.m. and then wait until 12 noon the next day to eat again. Some people go further and try 24-hour fasts, where they finish dinner and then don't eat again until the same time the following day. Others take it even further with extended fasts lasting 3 to 5 days, which can significantly enhance autophagy. However, longer fasts require more preparation and awareness of how your body responds. If you're considering extended fasting, one important step is to stabilize your blood sugar beforehand. This can be done by including healthy fats in your diet such as avocados, nuts, and olive oil, which help prevent sharp energy crashes. During a fasting window, some people replace breakfast with a cup of bulletproof-style coffee, blended with about a teaspoon of MCT oil. Interestingly, research published in 2014 found that both regular and decaffeinated coffee may increase autophagy in mice. However, it's important not to add cream, butter, or protein powders like collagen, because these can interfere with the fasting state and reduce autophagy. If coffee isn't your preference, green tea or Earl Grey tea, bergamot tea, are also good alternatives. Staying well hydrated is equally important during fasting, and electrolytes can make a big difference in maintaining energy levels. A simple homemade electrolyte drink can be made by adding a pinch of Himalayan salt and some lemon to water. For longer fasts, bone broth is sometimes included, and electrolyte powders can also be used as long as they don't contain added sugar or artificial sweeteners, except possibly stevia. One of the appealing things about fasting is that it is essentially free. In fact, some people even say it saves money since you're not buying or preparing as much food. A common concern is hunger. In reality, hunger hormone levels, often referred to as ghrelin, tend to peak about an hour after you would normally eat a missed meal. After that, the sensation of hunger usually decreases, and many people find it becomes more manageable over time. Some individuals experience headaches, especially if they are prone to reactive hypoglycemia or low blood sugar. However, in some cases, these symptoms may also be linked to inflammation, and as autophagy improves cellular cleanup, those symptoms can reduce over time. Weight loss can also be a concern for people who are already underweight, so in such cases, a gentle 12-hour fasting window is usually more appropriate rather than extended fasting. Hormones are another important consideration, especially for women. Fasting can influence the menstrual cycle, so it's important to be mindful of timing and overall health status. For women with a body mass index below 18.5, further weight loss is generally not recommended because it may affect ovulation and menstrual regularity. Intermittent fasting can usually be practiced at any point in the menstrual cycle, but extended fasting is often better timed during the first half of the cycle, known as the follicular phase. This is when estrogen levels are higher. The second half, called the luteal phase, is dominated by progesterone, which supports calmness and stability. During this phase, extended fasting is generally not advised because the body is more sensitive and progesterone levels are naturally more delicate. Despite these considerations, fasting can still be very beneficial for women when done thoughtfully and in alignment with their cycle. One of the most common underlying issues today is insulin resistance, and addressing it can significantly improve overall hormonal health. To understand how fasting can work in real life, consider a case like Kevin, who had classic signs of metabolic syndrome. He was overweight, had fatty liver, elevated triglycerides, and high inflammation. He adopted intermittent fasting along with a clean paleo-style diet. After about 3 months, he lost around 20 pounds and reported feeling significantly better. His lab results improved as well. Fasting insulin dropped from 15 to 7. Liver enzymes improved from 45 to 18. Triglycerides reduced from 287 to 97. And his CRP, a marker of inflammation, fell from 5.6 to 0.5. Another example is Claire, a young woman dealing with autoimmune-related joint pain from rheumatoid arthritis and Hashimoto's thyroid condition. She incorporated intermittent fasting into her routine and also included a few extended fasts during the follicular phase of her cycle. After 3 months, her joint pain had completely resolved. Her inflammatory markers improved significantly, with ESR dropping from 35 to 5, CRP from 9 to 2, and thyroid antibodies, TPO, decreasing from 760 to 145. Of course, every individual is different, and there is no one-size-fits-all approach. The key is finding the right balance between eating and fasting, between growth and repair, or in biological terms, between mTOR activity and autophagy. It's always wise to listen to your body and consult a healthcare professional when needed. To summarize, autophagy is the body's internal cleanup and recycling system at the cellular level. It can be activated through fasting, may support weight loss, reduce inflammation, and potentially promote longevity. The most important factor is to find a sustainable fasting routine that works for your body and lifestyle.